Ed Reardon's Week by Christopher Douglas and Andrew Nichols. Episode 1. The Name Check.
Monday. Hard at work on my latest piece for radio, The South Tring Bubble. Act 1 describes the allocation of railway shares to a gullible public already suffering from the ravages of tuberculosis. Meanwhile, the navvies sweat as they hew out the tunnel under the gaze of flinty-eyed railway boss Sir Jeremiah Stovepipe. So, Stovepipe, dig, damn you. Dig, I say.
Excuse me, Mr. Reed. Oh, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yes, Harvey.
Got to turn the water off now, so if you need to use the lav, or maybe even make a cup of coffee...
Oh, good gracious, I haven't offered you anything, have I?
Oh, it's all right. I didn't want to stop the creative juices flowing.
No, we can turn them off for a bit, too. Milk and 2 sugars?
Just milk, thanks.
No sugar? You are a qualified plumber, aren't you?
Yeah, got me corgi badge and everything. So, what are you writing?
It's a script about a famous swindle.
Oh, you mean like The Sting? That's my all-time favourite.
Yes, take away the music, though, and you're not left with very much, are you?
Oh, just got the DVD. I suppose that's another lucrative market for you blokes.
Pretty good, yes.
So what happens in this, then?
Well, it's about building a railway in the early 19th century.
Oh, yeah, big train crash. Yeah, everybody trapped in the tunnel, race against time. Florence Nightingale.
Well, there is a crash, but it's financial, and obviously on radio you hear it rather than see it.
Oh, yeah, I love Radio 4. You get some really good actors on it.
So I gather. Sadly, none of them have been in any of my plays. Though Rodney Bewes wasn't bad in the one about the birth of the Scout movement.
Where do you get all your ideas from?
The truthful answer was the third drawer down on the left-hand side of my desk, as The South Tring Bubble was a slight reworking of my 30-year-old play on a similar theme entitled The Amazing True Story of the South Tring Bubble, the drug-addled prefix being de rigueur at the time. You couldn't get anything commissioned unless it was called the psychedelic this or the amazing that. I remember seeing a production of The Incredible Importance of Being Earnest at the Roundhouse, in which the famous handbag was the only thing Lady Bracknell had to cover her manhood, and I didn't want to disillusion my Radio 4-loving, grey ponytailed plumber further by confessing that my new play would be broadcast not on the BBC, but the local commercial station, Hemel Sound. An interesting historical footnote is that the fee I commanded in 1976 was £50 more than the truly bloody incredible 250 quid my agents had negotiated for me this time round. How's that for a railway swindle?
Would you like some more champagne, sir?
Do you know, I believe I would. Now, I'm going to propose a toast to Felix Jeffrey Literary Associates.
Felix Jeffrey Associates. Oh, arse, it's Ed Reardon.
Well, just let it ring.
Yeah, but he can't put his hand up my jumper here.
Don't bet on it. He got me on the platform at Sloane Square once. Just came out of nowhere.
Harrod's foot hole me.
It's quite amazing what you can get up to with a travel card.
I'd better answer it. Ed, hi.
Hello, Big Look. The post's just come and there's still no sign of the money from Hemel Sound.
Have you done the script yet?
Never mind about that. I'm supposed to get £125 on signature.
Sorry, Ed, I think we're just getting into a tunnel.
It's all right. I'll hang on for a minute.
But it's Eurotunnel, yeah? Might be a bit longy.
Eurotunnel?
Yeah, I'm going to Paris for lunch.
Make him wait until we're on the French phone rate. Bougatel, the bugger.
Is that Felix I can hear?
It's an agency jolly. And merci beaucoup for all the hard work we put in looking after our clients.
Plus the mental cruelty.
And the groping.
Well, how lovely for you all.
Can I bring you anything back, Ed? No, he's gone. I feel a bit guilty about that.
Serves him right for ringing outside office hours. It's 9:45, for God's sake. Now, don't you dare disappear with that bottle.
Thank you very much. And don't forget, if you're going to China, there's no need to take that slow boat, because those nice people at British Airways can fly you to Beijing for as little as £273.
What's all that about, Jazz?
I imagine they're paying you to prostitute your talents yet further, if that were possible.
Yes, they are. And here's a baseball cap for each of you.
Ooh, these aren't bad.
Oh, you're wasting your time with this lot. They don't listen to the music. They're not going to listen to the adverts.
It's the principle of the thing.
Would you like to say that again, Jazz, and have the decency to inject a note of irony?
Product placement's a fact of life, Ed. It was the reason I was able to finish my last film.
I wonder what all those branches of Starbucks were doing in Rwanda.
No, it was very moving, though, when Sandra Bullock handed out those food parcels full of Doritos and slush puppies.
Yeah, it was only a movie.
Oh, not according to The Independent. A meretricious mishmash of sentimental...
Shut up, Reardon. Put your baseball cap on backwards. Or are you just being ironic?
Come on, boys. Time for Tiger Hag.
Shouldn't it be Tiger J-Cloth?
Oh dear.
That sounds ominous, doesn't it, Elgar?
No, you see, you've not got enough drop on your soil pipe, so you're looking at a backup at your collar joint unless you put a Saniflow in.
I sense the plumbing equivalent of a taximeter clicking up with every esoteric word.
Well, it's got to be done. Otherwise you'd have to use the public toilet. And there's no digital radio down there. Or your poster for the cruel sea.
No, but I did once see one of the cast there, how shall I say, out of uniform.
Well, anyway, I'd say 300 quid tops.
Right.
I'm telling you, you won't get it done any cheaper. I'm not one of those 70 grand a year plumbers, only interested in how much they can rip off the customer.
Very reassuring, Harvey. Rather a unique selling point, actually. Have you given any thought to advertising?
I put a box in Berkhamsted Life once. Would have done better parking a van at the station and hooting.
What about the power of local radio? Hemel Sound, say.
Can't afford their rates.
Well, let's try to think of another way of getting Harvey's no-hassle plumbing services of Harpenden onto the air. Tuesday. I've seldom had reason to be grateful to Jazz Milvain, least of all for his talents as a filmmaker, dating back from last year's Rwandan atrocity to the massacre of my own novel, Who Would Fathers Bear? Small wonder that year's Oscars for Best Picture and Best Screenplay went to the Sting. But I find myself in Jazz's debt for introducing me to the concept of product placement, which opened my eyes to a whole range of literary possibilities.
Yes, Mr. Reardon?
Yes. I don't seem to have had my London Review of Books delivered this week.
Yes, it's here.
Ah, good. It's the Orange Awards special. Double-page spread of Beryl Bainbridge without her anorak on.
Well, you'll have to imagine it, because you're not getting it till you paid your bill. Goes back 6 weeks now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been so focused on this thing I'm writing, I just haven't been able to concentrate on anything else.
What is it?
A radio play. But, the thing is, this will make you laugh.
That'll be a first.
I'm completely stuck for a name for a newsagent. So, South Tring Bubble, Act 2. Scene 4. Sound effects. Sir Jeremiah Stovepipe winds his fob watch, twirls his moustache. Does that make a sound, though? Elgar, let me twist your whiskers and see if it reads. All right, then. Smacks his riding crop against his top boot. Stovepipe. Dig, damn you. Dig, I say. Paddy, we wants our wages, sir. Stovepipe. I'll not have levelling talk on my railways. You've been reading scurrilous pamphlets from Tiger News of Berkhamsted. Seamus. Help. The gully's up and broken its banks. Stovepipe. Quickly, man. Dispatch a messenger to Harpenden and summon Master Harvey the plumber. I can't say no hassle. I really can't. What does he expect for 300 quid? Yeah. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, I was in last week. I had a very good large donut and chips, I remember. Has it? Oh, dear. Well, look, I can either come in and give you another cheque, or cash, because I rather think I owe you for the week before as well, don't I? Or, I'm just wondering, is there an advertising campaign for modern kebabs at all? Because I really think there ought to be one.
So what's the difference between costume drama and the rest? Because they're all in costumes, aren't they?
Not always.
Well,
and not after 9 o'clock either. Sometimes you don't know where to look.
I know, it all comes off. Bustles, jeans, the lot.
Have you seen that new girl in Blue Peter showing the full orchestra?
yes.
All the egg boxes in the world wouldn't make her decent.
I think just to focus on period drama.
And there was a bugger on Emmerdale Thursday.
Yes, but I'm engaged in writing a period drama myself, and even though it's for radio, I believe it's vital for the writer to see in his mind's eye precisely how the characters are dressed. Well, as someone very sensible once said, the pictures are better on radio.
That's rubbish. You can't see anything on radio. They must have meant television. The pictures are better on television.
Especially with a flat screen. We've got a lovely 32-incher.
Oh, is it high definition ready?
Oh, yes.
Anyway, the writer's knowledge of his subject needs to be so utterly comprehensive that the listener hears, or is it sees, just a fraction.
It's hears. That's what we're trying to tell you. Seeing's television.
Have you got names for all your characters yet?
Mostly. There are a few that haven't been allocated, named yet. Why?
Because the WRVS are having an auction of promises to raise money for the hospital.
Really?
Pearl's doing an afternoon's baking and Stan's promised to dig somebody's allotment.
Thought it might be a way of meeting somebody. That's why I took up this creative writing class, but that hasn't worked on any level.
Let me know when you're getting your spade out, Stan. I'll come and watch you sweating away for nothing.
It's not nothing. It's for a new kidney machine.
Anyway, I've got something else in mind for you, Mr. Reardon. You could auction the name of a character. People could bid to get their names in one of your books or plays.
No, I'm sorry. You can't apply the standards of the car boot sale to literature.
Or better still, they could win an introduction to one of those celebrities you're always swanking about knowing. Nigel Mansell or Jazz Milvain.
No, I don't think so. Oh, look, all right, as it's a good cause. People do like hearing themselves mentioned on the radio, don't they?
Yes, because they know what they look like. See? No imagination needed.
You're teaching him tonight, Stan.
Right, Elgar. The South Tring bubble. The climax. The delivery of sleepers for the track that is never to be laid. Stovepipe. A farthing, you say?
Ed? Hello, Elgar. How you doing? All right?
Yes, he is. How are you doing, Harvey?
Nearly there. Thing is, Ed, while you were out, I had a look at the pages you printed up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Hope you don't mind.
And what did you think?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great, much to enjoy.
What?
Well, I'm not just Harpenden based. There's a guy who works for me in Leighton Buzzard, and I'm thinking of opening up in Wendover.
So?
Well, would it be a real pain in the bum just to pop that into the script?
This is only a 30-minute piece, Harvey.
Sure, you're the writer. I'll just get on and finish your toilet. You do want me to fix it for you, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And you'll be needing it soon, by the look of you. All that wine you're drinking.
Leighton Buzzard, you say?
And Wendover. Oh, and,
Yes?
Well, I really miss the no hassles.
Right. Consider it done.
Oh, I was expecting a bit of a fight for that one.
Writers who are precious about their words, I mean, get real.
Ed, what are you doing here?
I brought the script of the South Tring bubble.
Couldn't you just emailed it to me?
No, I couldn't have emailed these beauties. Bubble and bubbly. Et voila. Cups from the water cooler in the corridor.
Ed, I've invoiced for the money. I can't do any more than that.
Oh, life's too short to worry about money, Ping. Let me treat you to lunch.
I've told you before, I've got a boyfriend. I mean, I'm very flattered, but... Well, actually, no, I'm not.
No, I'm serious. This is a thank you lunch. Turned out to be quite a nice little job. Makes you glad to be a writer.
Ed, stop it. You're frightening me.
Somebody mentioned lunch.
Yes, Ed. But he's behaving in a really, really non-Ed-like way.
Hello, Felix. Why don't you let me take you both to lunch in Paris?
I see what you mean, Ping. Now look, here, whoever you are, if this is some sort of practical joke, I warn you, you're dealing with a man who sold Noel Edmonds' big book of gotchas for 250k. You can't fool me.
How much? For that farrago of celebrity acidity?
He certainly sounds like Ed.
It is. Felix, I feel I've turned a corner in my career, and I've found a way to deal with my day-to-day creditors.
Yeah, And the beard's real.
Ow!
Oh, boiled egg.
Well, that was quite possibly the best stuffed pig's heart I've ever had.
What is it with men? As soon as they get to 50, they start eating the weirdest bit of the animal.
Allow us our little eccentricities, Ping. I mean, look at Ed.
Sorry?
Ed, why are you turning your plate upside down?
I'm just making a note of the manufacturer. Might come in useful for my next play.
Ah, product placement, that's the future, Ed. Ever since Fay Weldon gave those jewellers a plug in her novel, you writers have never had it so good.
Aren't you meant to, think up your own brand names?
It's easy to forget how young she is.
Writing, Ping, is all about adapting to the demands of the marketplace. I understand that. That's why people hire me.
No, not quite, Ed. Hemel Sound Radio hired you because you're cheaper than a phone-in.
Is that true?
Yes, it is. When our consortium made its bid for the franchise, we had to put in all sorts of utter nonsense about serving the local community, but I think it was the commitment to local drama that swung it for us. Hard to deliver, unless, of course, you have a man on the spot who's prepared to turn his hand to anything for not very much money.
Oh, right, adapt to the demands of the marketplace.
Exactly so. So, Ed, let's drink to the success of Hemel Sound, shall we? And many more plays along the lines of, what's it called again?
The South Tring Bubble. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, one absolutely final bottle when you're ready, Renato, and Mr. Reardon's bill.
Wednesday came as a bit of a blow to discover that it wasn't my experience in Hollywood that fitted me for my latest engagement, so much as my status as a decorum council taxpayer, Band A. However, I still felt I was ahead of the game, with my free, smoothly functioning toilet and the slate-white clean at the newsagents and the kebab shop. In the hiatus between the delivery of my script and its production, I indulged myself with a visit to the Auction of Promises, to find out exactly how much Joe, or Josephine Public, was prepared to pay for the honour of appearing in the new Ed Reardon.
Going once at £175, going twice. Come on, ladies, it's a day's digging.
And for another 20, I'll be your sex slave.
For the last time, and sold to Mrs. Madwick for £175. Lot number 32, an unusual promise this, no less than giving your name to a character in the next radio play by a local award-winning writer.
Oh, hello, Mr. Reardon, you're just in time, it's you.
Hello, Olive. Award-winning?
But it helps bump up the price a bit. You must have won something at some stage in your career.
Oh, probably. I forget.
Do I hear £10? Anybody? £5?
I hope somebody says something. Even Pearl's Baking went for 25.
£30.
Now, you mustn't artificially inflate the bidding. That's cheating.
Just trying to prime the pump.
Do I hear 35? 32, then. For the chance of fame on Hemel Sound, nothing to do with the BBC, this.
£40.
45.
50.
That's more like it.
All done at 300? £300 then to hear your name on the radio. Once, twice, and sold to the gentleman at the back in the Cross of St. George T-shirt.
£300? That's more than the patio demossing went for.
One does what one can. Fingers crossed his name isn't Martin Chuzzlewit.
Your name, please, sir?
Trevor Willis.
Thank God for that. Very character-friendly. He'll do for one of the disgruntled shareholders.
Thanks ever so much, Mr. Reardon. There's a sick kiddie somewhere who will owe his little life to you.
Maybe he can give me his liver when he's a bit older. Fair's fair. No, seriously, I'm doing pretty well at the moment, and it's important to put something back in.
All right, pal?
Ah, Mr. Willis, the lucky winner. Is that Willis with 2 L's?
Yeah, but it's radio. You don't need to know that.
It just helps me to think my way into the character.
No, the important thing is you get Trevor Willis Plumbing Services in. I've jotted the mobile number down for you so you can get that in too.
Ah, yes. What's this?
That's the call-out charge.
Right. This is a play set in the Victorian period.
Well, you could put it in guineas then, can't you? And try and get the name check in early doors. Some of these things you hear on the radio are rubbish, and they'll be switching over to Aylesbury Gold after the first minute.
Thursday. For an author, the read-through before a production of one's work can be a traumatic experience, not unakin, I imagine, to giving birth, though I hope no mother in her confinement ever has to suffer the inept and ham-fisted bunch of midwives that calls itself my caste. Heaven knows what they teach them at drama school these days, but it certainly isn't diction or the basic ability to flesh out a character, as I felt obliged to tell them, stopping the reading halfway through and standing on a chair to make my point more forcefully. I recall the production of Scout's Honour, in which Rodney Bewes could, with a mere inflection, conjure up the smell of a campfire, the feel of khaki on skin. And to add to its woes, the South Tring bubble seemed about to burst, not under the weight of inflated share prices, but the volume of local tradesmen's names.
I hear a messenger arriving, Sir Jeremiah. Let us hope he brings the tidings we've been waiting for.
You mean another tenfold increase in the share price of this railway, Lord Clinker?
Aye, and a commensurate decrease.
Ed, they can see you through the glass. Don't put your head in your hands.
What is it, man? Confound you to damnation!
It be the workers, Sir Jeremiah. They're demanding another farthing a week, plus full settlement of last month's wages. And a delicious daily
Well, it's clearly the same actor that plays Lord Clinker, isn't it? I mean, can't he vary his voice at all? Pretty hopeless to start with. The other one just sounds like a hairdresser.
Just stop you there, everybody. It's all going very well, but, Ben, Ed was wondering if you could just give us a bit more...
competence.
What's that?
Differentiation. So, a tad more upmarket for Lord Clinker and a gnat's more downmarket for Ned the Messenger, Ben, if you could bear to.
OK, cool. Yeah.
What about Sir Jeremiah? Is he all right, Jane?
It's absolutely lovely, Christopher. So, let's go again and take it from confound you to damnation, everybody. Oh, sublime clip-clops, Alison.
Thanks.
What is it, man? Confound you to damnation?
It be the workers, Sir Jeremiah. They're demanding another...
What's the matter, Ed? Don't make me stop them again.
Well, I'm sorry, but Ned and Lord Clinker sound exactly the same. It's just risible. Hopeless.
Plus half an hour's break a day. And a delicious daily dish of hot victuals from the Berkhamsted Bagel Company. I'm sorry, it's an awful mouthful, that, Jane. I mean, I'll do it, but...
I don't think they had bagels in 1843, did they?
That's a very good point, Christopher. Ed, are you quite sure?
Yes, they came over with the Jewish immigrants to the East End and made their way up from there.
Well, while we've stopped, if we're still overrunning, could I put in a plea for a trim in that great long speech I've got about the plumber?
Which one, Trevor or Harvey?
Oh, both of them can go as far as I'm concerned. And the newsagent. I really don't know what we're adding.
Not altogether sure what you're adding, chum.
This is just utter drivel.
Ed, please don't talk to my actors like that.
Actors? Rodney Bewes is an actor. Kermit the Frog's an actor. If you want the writer's opinion, those two should go back to waiting on tables and driving minicabs. And if they're as bad at that as they are at delivering lines, I pity their customers.
Right, now you've made your point, would you mind leaving my studio?
Certainly.
I'll send you a copy of the finished version.
A cassette, please, so I can record over it. Programme made by professionals. Moneybox Live, perhaps.
Sorry about that, everybody. Can we go from the top again, please?
I hear a messenger arriving, Sir Jeremiah.
Hi, Ed.
Ping, I was wondering if my delivery money had arrived for the South Tring bubble.
Oh, has it gone out yet?
No. With all the damage they've inflicted on it, it may never see the light of day, so I want to make sure I get paid.
And then you can take us out to lunch in Paris.
But I took you out to lunch at the Connaught.
You said Paris. You promised.
Well, yes.
Paris.
Yes, but...
Paris! I'll check out the Eurostar fares while you're talking to Felix. He wants to see you.
Another bargain basement play commission, I imagine.
Je crois que non.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Ah, hello, Ed.
Felix. Ah, jazz.
We're not best pleased with you, Reardon.
Why? Because I'm the only one in the room not wearing a British Airways baseball cap.
Yes, they're awfully good, aren't they? Now, Ed, this play of yours for Hemel Sound...
Oh, they're not complaining already, are they? Well, look, all I was doing was standing up for the script. I mean, they were making a complete pig's ear of it. I'd have thought it was in your interest, Felix, to have a finished product that Hemel Sound could be proud of.
You mean as opposed to the same play that the BBC put out 30 years ago?
Oh, did they?
Completely outrageous behaviour.
I know we're all supposed to be green these days, but this is taking recycling too far. You've severely embarrassed the consortium.
Just who are these delicate flowers?
Oh, the great and the good. Jeremy Clarkson, Keith Floyd, Jazz Milvain.
Let me know when you get to the good.
Anyway, the play will be going out, but you won't be getting any fee, of course. And you should count yourself lucky it's being broadcast at all.
Can you tell Ed I've got the timetable for Paris? Oh, and the car's here to take you and Jazz to Pinewood.
Thank you, Ping. Yes, exciting news, Ed. Jazz is on the shortlist to direct the next Harry Potter but 2.
Well, if that's not recycling, I don't know what is.
No, that's giving the public what it wants. You might try it sometime.
Monday. A tape arrives of my butchered radio play. The treatment of the South Tring bubble is further evidence of the implacable might of the British class system, which never misses a chance to stamp its despotic boot on the exploited masses of freelance writers. It reminds me once again why I loathe this country and can't wait to leave, though forking out for a trip to Paris on the Eurostar isn't necessarily the solution.
God, who done this for you?
But Paris is a financial hardship yet to be faced. Cogitating on this problem after my breakfast pint of caffeine, I discovered that my recent recycling difficulties were far from over.
Can I make you a cup of something, Trevor?
Tea, please. 2 sugars.
I knew there was something not quite right about the man with the ponytail.
Not Harvey, no sugars. The Hartman and hippie.
Yes, with the honest face, which I'm afraid to say I was taken in by.
You were, Chief. See this Saniflow?
Yes, he wanted £300 for that.
Tap. 50 quid nudies. And if you look at the date stamp, this was manufactured in 1983. Each sold you second-hand merchandise. A recon job.
You can't trust anybody these days. I mean, I really do despair of the British working class. Present company accepted, of course.
It's all right. 70 grand a year puts me plumb in the middle, mate.
Right. It's probably not too disastrous that your name didn't make it to the final edit of my radio play.
Nah, don't need it. In fact, I wish I'd bid for the digging, to be honest. I'm so busy now, my allotment's like the Amazon rainforest.
So how much is this going to cost me?
Do the whole thing for 75, mates.
Just how big is this allotment?
You want to get all those weeds off before you turn all that over? Otherwise they'll come straight up again.
Yes, thank you, Stan.
And when you've done that, there's a heap of rotted leaf mould you can fork in. Liquid gold, that.
Stan, you mustn't think me rude, but I need to listen to my new radio play.
Well, I hope it's 10 hours long, then. Plenty of work there.
And now on Hemel Sound, this afternoon's drama playhouse is The South Tring Bubble by Ed Reardon.
Dig, damn you! Dig, I say.
In 1843, the South Tring Railway called to me. I sailed for England, a navvy for to be, and I went on an Emerald Isle car ferry.
Ed Reardon's Week starred Christopher Douglas, with Stephanie Cole, Sean Locke, David Cann, Eve Dallas, Alan Ford, John Fortune, Simon Greenall, Sally Hawkins, Matthew Holness, Geoffrey McGiven, Philip Jackson, Rita May, Paul Richard Biggin, and Geoffrey Whitehead. It was written by Christopher Douglas and Andrew Nichols. The producer was Simon Nichols.